Hello, and welcome back. Today, we're leaving the hustle and bustle of Delhi for a historical day trip that's on every traveler's bucket list, that is Agra. We're on a mission to see two of the world's most incredible monuments, the Taj Mahal and the Agra Fort. Just a short journey from the capital, Agra is a city steeped in Mughal history and home to some of India's most breathtaking architecture. Get ready to witness a love story carved in marble and a fortress of immense power. The distance from Delhi to Agra is about 230 kilometers, and we are taking the famous Shatabdi Express, which is one of the fastest ways to get there, covering the distance in just about 100 minutes. It's a journey in itself, and a great way to start the day early. After our journey, we have arrived in Agra, a city steeped in history. You can already feel the echoes of a glorious past in the air. After navigating the bustling streets of Agra, we are finally at the Taj Mahal. Cloakrooms and locker facilities are available for tourists to store prohibited items like large bags and backpacks before entering the monument. These facilities are located near the eastern and western gates of the Taj Mahal. The Taj Mahal ticket price depends on your nationality. Indian citizens pay 50 rupees, SAARC or BIMSTEC citizens pay 540 rupees, and foreigners pay 1100 rupees. An additional 200 rupees fee is required to enter the main mausoleum, and children under 15 enter for free. There are three main gates, but we're entering through the most famous one, the Western Gate. The Western Gate is the main entrance, also known as the Fatehpur Begum Gate. The main gateway, or Darwaza-e-Roza, is a grand red sandstone structure that serves as the ceremonial entrance to the inner complex. This imposing structure is a double-storied building with symmetrical arches. It's adorned with white marble inlay and calligraphy from the Quran. It was constructed in the year 1638 and is said to be designed by the architect of the Taj Mahal himself, Ustad Ahmad Lahori. And here it is, the moment you've been waiting for. The Taj Mahal. This isn't just a building. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, a symbol of eternal love, and a true wonder of the world. It was commissioned by Emperor Shah Jahan in 1631 in memory of his beloved wife, Mumtaz Begum. The complex is set around a large Char Bagh or Mughal garden. The garden is divided by two main walkways into four quadrants with further raised pathways that divide each of the four quarters into 16 flower beds. This garden is surrounded by a walkway connecting all the quadrants. The water supply for the gardens were derived from the Yamuna River, where a water channel transported the water into an underground reservoir. The water from the reservoir was lifted by means of a system of pulleys and wheels, turned by animals, to a tank. It was later distributed throughout the garden through earthenware pipes embedded underground. Halfway between the Tamban gateway in the center of the garden is a raised marble water tank with 5 fountains and a reflecting pool positioned on a north-south axis to reflect the image of the Taj Mahal. This elevated marble water tank is called Al-Haud Al-Kauthar. The Kali Masjid in the Taj Mahal premises, also known as Sandali Mosque, built in the memory of Kandhari Begum, the first wife of the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan. Behind the Taj Mahal lies the Yamuna River, one of the longest rivers in North India, which provide a dramatic backdrop and a historical connection to the city's development, including its use for transporting construction materials and serving as a crucial waterway. The Yamuna's waters were used to fill the garden's channels and transported sand and shingle for the Taj Mahal's construction. The Taj Mahal's architecture is a magnificent example of Mughal architecture, a style that flourished in the 16th, 17th, and 18th centuries in the Indian subcontinent. It's a harmonious blend of Islamic, Persian, and Indian architectural traditions, showcasing perfect symmetry, intricate ornamentation, and a hierarchical use of materials. The entire complex is built with strict bilateral symmetry, a concept known as Karina. This is most apparent in the mausoleum itself, where the building's 4 identical sides are mirrored, and the main features are symmetrically flanked. 4 slender minarets flank the main structure at the corners of the platform. They are a classic feature of Islamic architecture and were used to call the faithful to prayer. A notable detail is that they are built to lean slightly outward, a clever design choice to ensure that in the event of an earthquake, they would fall away from the main tomb. Leaving the ethereal beauty of the Taj Mahal, we now head to our next destination, the historic Agra Fort, a sprawling citadel that served as the main residence of the Mughal emperors. These 2 UNESCO World Heritage Sites offer contrasting yet complementary perspectives on Mughal architecture and power. Agra Fort is open from sunrise to sunset, approximately 6 am to 6 pm daily. The ticket prices are 50 rupees for Indians, 650 rupees for foreigners, and free entry for children under 15. This fort is a prominent historical fort and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's a testament to the might and architectural prowess of the Mughal Empire, serving as a powerful fortress and an imperial city within a city. Agra Fort has a long history, with a pre-existing brick fort known as Badalgah. The modern fort's story, however, begins with the Mughals. After the First Battle of Panipat in 1526, the Mughal Emperor Babur occupied the fort. His son, Humayun, was crowned here in 1530. Recognizing its strategic importance, Emperor Akbar made Agra his capital in 1558. He commissioned the rebuilding of the fort using red sandstone, a monumental task that involved 4,000 builders and took 8 years to complete. The fort at this stage was primarily a military fortification. Jahangiri Mahal was built by Akbar for his Hindu wives. It is one of the earliest surviving buildings of Akbar's reign. It is believed to have been house of Akbar's chief Hindu queen, popularly known as Jodha Bai. Jahangir in his memoirs stated that the buildings were erected by his father Akbar but did not take any credit for the construction of Jahangiri Palace or Mahal. During the reign of Jahangir, it is believed to be the residence of his wife, Jagat Gosain, the princess of Marwar and mother of Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan. The construction of its rooms were made keeping in mind maximum privacy with relatively few openings in the external elevations, and the organization of the interior spaces support the theory that the building was built as a zenana, or residential palace for the imperial women. The multi-storied palace is faced with finely carved red sandstone, with exterior elevations that follow a predominantly Islamic scheme, incorporating a few Hindu elements. The Jahangiri Mahal is situated on the eastern side of the Agra fort, facing the Yamuna River. You may also be able to see the Taj Mahal in the distance from certain vantage points within the palace complex. The Khas Mahal is a private royal pavilion of white marble, built by Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan in the Agra fort between 1631 and 1640 for his daughters. This structure is characterized by its open terraces and ornate pavilions, overlooking Anguri Bagh, a well-known courtyard. It is situated on a raised platform paved with marble, and was a private living quarter for the royal family within the Agra fort complex. The term, Golden Pavilion, is sometimes used to refer to the Roshanara Pavilion within Agra Fort, a beautiful building on the fort's edge with a stunning view of the Taj Mahal. It's not made of gold but appears so due to its white plaster over a red brick structure. The pavilion is believed to have been used by Princess Roshanara, a daughter of Emperor Shah Jahan. Shah Jahan built Anguri Bagh or the Garden of Grapes in 1637. With Khas Mahal to its east and red sandstone arcades on the other three sides, it was the principal square of the Zenana apartments or the living area of the royal ladies. As the name suggests, this garden was known for harvesting choicest of grapes and flowers throughout the year. It was designed to be a pleasant retreat or the paradise garden for the royal ladies and ensured their complete privacy. The Musamman Burj is an octagonal marble tower built by Shah Jahan for his favorite queen, Mumtaz. It offers a stunning view of the Taj Mahal and was where Shah Jahan spent his final years as a prisoner of his son Aurangzeb. The structure is known for its elaborate white marble architecture, intricate jali work, and pietra dura inlay. This Khas Mahal was built during the same period. Shah Jahan was also responsible for constructing the Taj Mahal, highlighting his architectural prowess and contribution to the Mughal era. The Diwan-e-Aam, or Hall of Public Audience, is a magnificent structure built by Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan in the 17th century to address his subjects and conduct public business. This large, originally red sandstone hall was shell-plastered to resemble white marble and features intricate carvings, arches, and a central marble pavilion with the emperor's throne. It served as a royal court where people could present grievances, and it is known for its impressive architecture and historical significance as a symbol of Mughal governance. The Diwan-e-Khas, or Hall of Private Audience, is an important building within the Agra Fort complex, built by Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan, where he held private audiences with courtiers, dignitaries, and foreign ambassadors. It served as a space for confidential meetings and debates between the emperor and his ministers. From the overwhelming beauty of the Taj Mahal to the powerful history of the Agra Fort, this trip has been a journey through time. These two monuments stand as a testament to the immense power and artistry of the Mughal Empire. I hope this trip inspires you to plan your own visit to this magnificent city. Thank you for joining me on this whirlwind tour of Agra. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to the channel for more travel adventures. What was your favorite part of the trip? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, keep exploring.